Hey all my future buyers and sellers out there, I am here to teach you more than you knew before about the real estate process. And today, this video is dedicated to all those residential home inspectors out there that have experienced Groundhog Day. I'm talking about how they're constantly inundated with the same repetitive questions over and over again from home buyers. So here's a video for you guys to send out to all your prospective clients before the inspection takes place, so you can share this information and get them up to speed. Hey, it's Ella with Ella Estate Realty and welcome back to my channel, everybody. I'm talking to renters, buyers, sellers, investors, all of the above. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I suggest you do it because I serve you up a weekly dose of all the tips, hints, and hacks you can handle about real estate. And if you're already subscribed, I appreciate you, but you can still leave me some love with some likes. Keep everything moving along. So, as for today's topic, we are going over all the ideas that home inspectors wished you knew before they met you at your future house. So let's cover these 15, let's blaze a trail and get you more prepared before your home inspection. Number one, kicking off the list of 15 would be bring a list of concerns before you even show up to the home inspection. I'm talking about the things that kind of made you a little queasy after reading the, seller disclosure form, or something that your agent advises, or maybe you want to do an addition to the house, change out some fixtures, and you just want some professional's opinion. This is the best time to take advantage of this person. You're bringing them on, you already paid for them, why not make the most of it and alleviate your forgetfulness, So just make sure that you bring that list along so you'll be able to ask all the questions you want in that set time. Number two is be involved in the inspection. Now, I'm not asking you to get under the crawl space and get in the attic, but I am saying that maybe it's a good idea to do a walkthrough with the inspectors. Sometimes it's easier to absorb this information in person than it is reading it off the report. So make the most of the time that you have with them and, follow it up with those questions that you've already previously written down. But side note, be aware of the distractions that you might bring along. I'm talking about pets in the car that you might have to go in and out and check on. Toddlers screaming and running around might be a large distraction, or even bringing a whole family with you and they kind of are getting in the way of the inspection. Just know that the inspector wants your full attention so they can pass on this information to you because they're there to benefit you. So just give them your full attention too. Number three is take advantage of the time that you have at the house. When you're not following around the inspector or asking them questions that you had predetermined, you want to be more involved with taking measurements, taking pictures, making sure your furniture will fit, making sure nothing has changed within the house from when you previously put your offer in. You just want to take advantage because generally the rule of thumb is for every 1,000 square feet of the house will be an hour of the inspection. That's based upon, how much work is involved, but just know that this is probably the longest time that you'll have allotted with the house until closing. So you want to make sure that you're involved and making the best of it. Number four is home inspectors are generalists, not particularly experts in any certain category. So they're going into your house and giving you an overview of the health of your house, I want to say. Is it structurally sound? Does the electrical work properly? The plumbing, septic, whatever you have for their checklist, but they are not specialists. I want you to think of home inspectors like doctors. So you go to the doctor, you have something wrong, maybe with your leg, and they diagnose you and then send you off to a specialist. Same goes with a home inspector. There's something wrong with the plumbing, they send you to a plumber that can better fix it. So I just want you to keep this in mind that they're not gonna know exactly what's wrong with everything along the way. They're just gonna give you an overall health read of the house. Number five, they don't have x-ray vision. So once you see those HGTV videos and you watch all the houses get deconstructed and they find termites in the walls or the foundation's cracked, there's only so much that they are able to see. It's a visual tour of the place. They definitely have a checklist of things that they need to make sure are functioning, but things that come up within the walls, they can't see into it unless you were to take out a wall. So So don't blame them if there's something that they missed, because it's technically not in their job description to find every aspect wrong with the house. Number 6 kind of goes with number 5, but they don't have a crystal ball. What do I mean by that? Well, you know, an appliance goes out. Now, appliance can have a range, probably, you know, a washer and dryer, 2 years to 5 years that it's good for. Some washers will go for 15 years, some will go for a year before they break down. That's mechanics, you know, that's out of the inspector's control. They can give you a generalization, but this isn't a guarantee that all the things in the house will last that long. So be aware of the reality that once you get into the house, it will come with maintenance costs, and this inspection isn't the end all be all. Number 7 is the idea that they can't give you fair market value of the home and tell you whether it's a good buy or not. This is not within their job description, and it is even outlawed for them to do this because they're skewing your look on the house. Their job is only to tell you the overview of the health of the house, you know, the roof age, if it's structurally sound, things like that, not how much your house should go for in a market where buyers and sellers are coming together and giving fair prices. That is up to your real estate agent to put together for you, so make sure you know who's telling you these numbers. Number 9, just like giving you fair market value comes from your realtor, they can't quote you on repairs and upgrades either. That's against the rules too. They want you to go out and do your research, not out of inconvenience, just out of the law of, you know, having their license. They're not allowed to give you these recommendations or anything, because again, this could change your view on the house based off of their recommendations, and they might not be the most accurate. So to ensure that you're finding the most accurate numbers, definitely get in connection with a general contractor if you have ideas for the house, or just doing your research online and making sure that the numbers are aligning with what you're able to afford to make the house yours. Number 10 is for new construction, and I have a feeling that most of you out there think that it's going to be pristine and clean and perfect when you go out and buy it, but actually there's usually something wrong with it. Within the first year, there is a warranty on making the changes to the house that you need to be aware of, anything that fluctuates or peels or anything along those lines. I was talking to an inspector the other day, and they said within new construction, in the 15 years that they've been working, there is always something wrong with it. So just make sure that you are open-minded to the idea that there will be a list on every single house, no matter what. Each house has a little bit of a shortcoming. Number 11 is the cliche but true, you get what you pay for. And maybe I'm a frugal person, but a home inspection isn't something that you want to be frugal about or cheap. We want to make sure that within that 300 range to 400 range, that expertise can be years. I was talking to an inspector the other day, and they were talking about how someone was asking why they charge so much for a couple hours based of work, and it's because you're paying for their experience over years. It's just like that Picasso story where he was at a restaurant making a drawing and drew it on a napkin, went to throw it away. Somebody said, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, can I have it?" He said, "Oh, it's $1 million," or something along those lines. It's some unsum amount of money. They're like, "What? That took you 3 seconds to make?" It's like, no, actually it took me 20 years to get this good, to make this, and I know my worth. And that is exactly what happens with home inspectors. So be respectful of their industry and know their expertise is worth something. I think number 12 catches a lot of first-time home buyers off guard, but it is just because it's in the report that something is wrong about the house doesn't mean the seller has to fix it. That goes back to the negotiation with your trusted real estate agent. So if you fell into this category in the past, or you're under anticipation of thinking that they have to fix it no matter what and it comes out of their pocket, leave me a comment down below and let me know what your experience was. But moving forward with this, you just want to make sure that your real estate agent is on it, has a list of things that are wrong with the house, and sometimes it's not always about money. It could be for credit, or it's not always about them fixing it. It can be for a credit towards your closing costs. That can be a great way to go instead. And try to pinpoint the biggest things instead of the little things. Number 13 is some of the tests take longer than you think, whether it's radon or asbestos or different things with plumbing. It can take a little bit longer for turnaround. Usually the home inspection will get back to you the next day with photos and a report, but I know in the excitement, probably home inspectors tell you these things and you're just so excited you forget it, and then you're like, where's this? I want to know what that is, and you have all these questions, but just allow the proper time for the tests to go through. Number 14 is possibly the most important on this list, but I snuck it there at the end to make sure that you were paying attention. But it is to make sure that you read the entire report, not just the summary. Now, a lot of people will recommend just read the summary. It's got all the big ticket ideas and it can get a little, confusing throughout the report. But home inspectors will add some notes, some things they observed throughout the report that you'll miss if you don't read the whole thing. If you need some interpretation, then definitely call on them. They wrote it up for you. And that leads me to number 15, which is ask your questions sooner than later. Your home inspector on average is probably looking at 5 to 10 houses a week. So yours might mesh together with another if you don't ask right away. Ask when it's fresh in their mind, especially if you didn't put together a list of concerns before you showed up to the home inspection. You want to make sure that you're able to reach out to them with your concerns as soon as possible. So keep that timeline in mind. They are human, you want it as fresh in their memory as possible, and reach out accordingly. Just like that, we've come to the conclusion of my video, and now you know 15 things that home inspectors wished you knew before you show up the day of the inspection. Now, if you've previously been through a home inspection or you're about to go through one, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any further questions that are real estate related, I'd love to hear from you. You can always reach me at my website, EllaEstateRealty.com. And if you appreciate my content and the effort I put out to make these videos, definitely leave me some love with some likes. As for today's video, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ella with Ella Estate Realty, and I hope you're having a sensational day.